this journey been on since 13, working hard and learning, never stopping searching, yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me, I took action working, writing down. Yeah, I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes, call me aggressive with my flow, call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love, still gonna die for what I love, still gonna try, I won't give up, still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no. Some injuries, mentally and physically, studied them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory bad enough to get a C, they'd rather just go leave it be. And oh, this journey I've been on since 13, working hard and learning, never stopping searching, yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me, I took action working, writing down these words. No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something, I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by, but I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no. Yeah, I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes, call me aggressive with my flow, call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love, still gonna die for what I love, still gonna try, I won't give up, still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no.
Yeah, it's we're at the most wonderful time of the year. It's Christmas Day for GMs in the WFL. This is where you get to see if you were a good little GM or a bad little GM. And we start with pick number one, and Billy Bradshaw, the top quarterback in this draft, is off the board. Uh, Good kid out of Purdue, best quarterback in this class. It was not a strong class though, so good luck to him in Oakland. Or Oakland. That was like 3 places ago. Las Vegas. As the Raiders basically started new with the youth movement.
Bear with me 1 second. I am experiencing technical difficulties on my end.
Okay.
There we
Well,
go.
that is no surprise. The Carolina Panthers, they needed some defensive line help. They didn't get a lot in free agency, and they get probably the best kid to come out in quite a long time in Raphael Sullivan, one of the highest graded defensive prospects, at least on the defensive line, that probably the WFL has ever had. There are folks that are saying this could be Aaron Donald 2.0, which is some high praise. And boy, the picks are flying in quick
Yeah,
as
they did.
Charlie Tobin
Charlie
is
Tobin's
off the
off the.
board now.
Yeah, not a really deep wide receiver draft here, right? One of us.
It's got a lot of speed in it, but not a lot of talent. Tobin's a bit of a reach there at number three, in my opinion. There were some faster prospects with some better talent on the board. Lance O'Neill is one of them. Rob Jones is another one. It's not a hugely deep class, though, but it does have a lot of speed in it. So if you're looking for a speed demon, maybe a kick returner or somebody to just take the top off of the defense, this may be your draft. Can't say they'll catch the ball if you throw it to them, but they can definitely run fast. And there goes pick number four. That is Lance O'Neill. The fastest guy at the combine ran a 4.24 or 4.25, excuse me, at the combine. So by far the fastest player in this draft, and he goes to the Oakland Raiders to match up with quarterback Billy Bradshaw. So you got Billy Bradshaw a friend, which is always good to have whenever you're a quarterback.
Okay. All right, so let's switch into full draft vision here. So Lance O'Neill, you said he's the fastest player in the draft. Ravens are on the clock. I do have TJ Mack here, Coach TJ Mack, on in the booth with us. Coach TJ Mack, make your pick, and then let us know how you feel about it.
I muted him earlier. He seemed to have some mic issues. I don't know if he's got them
Yeah,
corrected or not.
I've unmuted him now. I'm just waiting on
Okay.
him to.
Okay.
TJ, can you hear us?
Ari Edison. I think that might be the top guard. One of the top guards. Yeah, he's the top rated guard according to Madden. But I had a couple of prospects rated a little better than him. But top prospect in the guard position never hurts to solidify your offensive line. And I know that run option attack with Lamar Jackson will be helped out by Jabari Edison, a big kid, more of a pass protector than a run grader, but did have a pretty good lift at the combine. Did 34 lifts at 225 at the combine. So solid performance there at the combine for Edison, and he goes top 10 to the Ravens. And now we have the Browns on the clock.
Want to remind everybody to post your picks in Draft Central if you can. We want to see the dev and all the good attributes that come with the player that you pick. TJ, can you hear me? I know you muted yourself now, but I wanted to get your take on your. Oh, there goes Eric Gilmore off the board. Wanted to get your
top corner.
Wanted to get your take on the guard you just drafted. All right, we'll circle back to Coach Mack. Smash, can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, guys. I'm
You're
having
good.
mic issues. Yeah, with my guard, he's a hitting gaff. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Impact blocking A, run block is No, I'm sorry. Pass block a A, run block A between the B. So I'm liking him. Can't wait to see what he does in the upcoming season.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, and congratulations on that hidden dev, my friend. We're happy for you, and he gets to protect one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the game, if not the most elusive. So appreciate you, and we'll check in on you soon.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. Emperor just took Kid, another stud defensive tackle. Defensive tackle is pretty deep here, right, Winimus?
It is. It's the deepest it's been in quite a while. There's a lot of guys here, and the Rams take the top strong safety off the board in Tyrone Thomas. He's a normal development kid, but he grades out with a 92 speed at 6 foot, 225 pounds at the safety position. So adding some much-needed speed to that back end after adding Jamal Adams in the offseason and Ashton Thomas on that back end to add along with, not to mention, somebody named Myles Garrett, who also got added this offseason as well to the Rams. So
yeah, Rams defense
bit of work
looking stout here as San Francisco takes Zaire Garner. Your top
the big
on the
board
right?
had him rated as the top, one of the top defensive prospects at 320 pounds. This kid, I believe, ran a sub 540 at 320 pounds. When you do that, you get the attention of everybody. And he definitely is a worthy prospect to go to the 49ers and just bolster that defense even more.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a 40 like that out of defensive tackle since your boy there, Donald, ran it back when he was running in the combine. Just absolute beast of a pick there, and I'm sure Too Cold is going to be happy with that. We got Det Fan on the clock now. Where do you think the Lions are going?
Well, they are going to go with they're going to probably be pretty happy with this selection. They're going to go offensive line. He's one of the better offensive linemen out there. Nelson Calhoun out of Ohio State, a guy who projects out as a good pass protector for his young quarterback to help in his development. Didn't have the greatest combine as far as the bench, but still enough strength to get out there on that edge and make sure you protect that blind side of that quarterback that they have. So definitely a good pick there for the Lions. And now we have the last year's Super Bowl champ, the Jaguars, who missed the playoffs, lose Trevor Lawrence in the offseason. Got to wonder where they want to consider going with this pick. They have a lot of holes.
They don't feel like they have a lot of holes. Talking to Coach Chesky, he says that he's going best player available this evening, and feels that he's pretty confident with. I too think that the holes are aplenty. Looking over this Jaguars squad, picked up an aging Austin Eckler. There's Ashley McLeod going off the board to the Jaguars, so which brings the Browns back on the clock. But yeah, I mean he's going to roll with Jordan Love, I think.
Well, I mean Jordan Love is a good quarterback. He's no Trevor Lawrence, but he is a good quarterback. I believe he just sat out last year. If he signed with anybody, it was obviously a 1-year deal, just to kind of play backup. And now he was back in free agency, and the Jaguars needed a quarterback, and he can definitely fill the bill. But I don't know. I think there's going to be a severe downgrade. He also lost Travis Etienne all season as well. Like you said, replaced him with Austin Eckler. There's offensively, there's some weapons missing that were there before, and to a team that went from first to worst. In the Jaguars, that really hurts you for the upcoming season. And this pick that Ross is making is one that he got from the Rams in the Myles Garrett deal that the Rams got from the Titans in last year's deal to get them their offensive stud, Tyrese Hargrove. And he takes a defensive end. He takes Sharif Webster, who is the top-rated guy or one of the top-rated guys there at that right end position.
Not gonna lie, we were hoping that Webster would fall to Indianapolis, but he did not.
He's a solid speed rusher in the same mold of Myles Garrett. He's obviously not going to have Garrett's talent set, but definitely somebody that could fill in that void that Myles Garrett leaves by getting traded out of conference to the Rams. So, and now we have Johnny. And the Cardinals on the clock, another team that is looking to fill some holes with departing players from this past season. He did a lot of signing of some older guys in the off-season past, and don't know if any of them really panned out or not. I know Mari Cooper had a really good setup in Arizona his first year. We'll see if he looks to bolster that offense or if he goes defense here. Defense has been heavy this first round because of the amount of defensive tackles. So he goes corner here. He goes Dean Farr, who I think there were better corners out there, but a good size, good speed kid out of Pittsburgh, 6 foot, 189, ran a 4.37 at the combine, which is always going to be a combine darling style setup. And maybe a good running mate to go with Connor Woods, who was picked up a couple of years ago by the Cardinals. So they have a nice little tandem back there in the secondary.
Little updates here from Draft Central. Josh Kidd, hidden dev, as is Ashley McLeod. So both those defensive tackles that came off the board are both hidden devs.
That's very good to hear. There's probably going to be a lot of those, honestly. Before the day is done. And now we see Bradley Rowe, probably the top-rated linebacker, at least right-side linebacker in this draft, more of a edge 3-4 style outside linebacker. So he's going to be a guy that gets after the passer more than anything. Had really good finesse moves out of college. A guy that's going to be a pass rusher, and actually ran a pretty good combine as well. Ran a 4.53, which is pretty good for linebackers at the combine, especially one that weighs in at almost 260. So definitely had some speed and some pass rush capabilities on that outside for New Orleans as they rebuild.
Dean Farr also coming in with a hidden dev, 92 speed, 92 acceleration. So not a bad pick there for the Cardinals. Jets on the clock now. This is Pinker Floyd's first draft with us, and I'm interested to see what he does. He's been pretty excited, blowing up the chat all day long. Talking about how he had his top 5 that he wanted, and so hopefully we'll see one of them come off the board. Johnny, if you're there and you want to unmute, we could talk about Dean Farr for a minute. Give him a minute to come on.
There he goes.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. I just drafted the best player in the draft, so I feel great.
Well, we hope that's the case for you. Good luck on your Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign. I know what it's like to win that, and I hope it happens for you this year. That's a solid cornerback. Talk about what your thought process was in taking him. I see that he's wearing number 21, like Patrick Peterson did. What is your What was your thought process behind taking Dean Farr?
So last year's free agency signing, I thought I did really well signing Teron Johnson and I've got the other guy's name from the Jets, and they were pretty solid, cornerbacks. But I still got lit up pretty bad and gave up a lot of yards. So I figured, let's pair Connor up with a pretty stud cornerback, and I think that this would be the better direction to go instead of going receiver or defensive tackle.
Okay. Well, we do appreciate you sharing that with us. One of us got any questions for Johnny?
I do not. I'm just hoping that Connor Woods breaks his leg first week of the season, and I don't see him the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, he's going to break a lot of ankles. That's for sure.
I mean his, not mine.
Okay.
I have to tell the GM who drafted him, thank you for that.
No worries. Like I said, I like my cornerbacks like my women, right? 6'2" and fast, running 92. Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting take on it, I guess.
Absolutely. Every year.
All
Thanks,
right,
fellas.
appreciate you. Okay.
So the Jets took the best wide receiver, at least on the board, or tied for the best wide receiver. They took Rob Jones out of Oregon State, so they get a fast wide receiver to pair up with Garrett Wilson and that offense. And Greg Hoffman, the quarterback that he inherited from DeFaro. So that's an offense that's shaping up to be quite a big play style offense if Pinker Floyd can break them loose and get them going. We'll see what he can do in season 2. He's kind of kicking the rust off a little bit at the end of season 1, or at the end of his first season, I should say. We'll see how he improves as the seasons progress, or as the season progresses. Brandon Corcoran, that is the top outside linebacker on the left side. And he is he's going to be a solid stay-at-home run stopper. He's not a real fast guy, but he definitely is a pure tackler, a big body guy at 250 pounds, 6'4". Doesn't have a lot of pass rush skill, but he definitely brings a lot of lumber to the table whenever he lays a hit down. Very smart, heady, instinctual player, and he's got really good hands for a linebacker as well. So maybe a guy that will get some turnovers for that Bills defense going forward.
All right. Well, Eagles are on the clock, trying to come back from their what I would call a disappointing season for them. They weren't too happy with the result. Going with Roman Coleman. There's a top wide receiver for you.
Solid. He's a solid pickup as well. There's a few good wide receivers, and they're going to go fast. Guy 6'3", 209. Solid across the board as far as the stats. Basically a solid but not spectacular wide receiver. Didn't have wow at the combine, but still ran a 4.42 40. Big guy, and for a big guy at 6'3", that's a really impressive 40 when you look at it that way. So definitely somebody that adds a little bit of physicality and big play presence that the Eagles want to probably pair up with Devontae Smith to kind of give them that thunder to Devontae Smith's lightning.
Looking at the board, total Ralph Columbus still sitting out there winning. Does that shock you?
Ralph Columbus, not really, because he's going to need a special home to get to. Being 5'11", 227, he's a little bit smaller stature quarterback. So he's going to need a special team that needs to cultivate his talents. And maybe he might be somebody that ultimately ends up sitting behind a better quarterback for a year learning the system. I realize this is our last season in WFL this cycle, but I mean, I don't know if he's starting level material, so it's not terribly surprising that he's fallen this far down the board at this point, really. I think most of our quarterback situations in WFL right now are situated, and nobody really needs a young rookie at this point. So Joseph Lawrence, he is picked 19. Top rated as far as the WFL scouts are concerned. Very smart, heady, instinctual player. Average tackling skills. Good speed though. Ran a 4.55 at the combine, which is pretty solid. Not the greatest run defender though. Kind of gets eaten up in coverage even with a big 6'3", 240-pound frame. So a guy that's going to have a couple of warts, but if you needed middle linebacker help, he's definitely a good one. And Philip Parker goes next to the Falcons with pick 20. And not a guy I had rated as high, but I think if you're looking for a run plugger in the middle, he can definitely do it because at 6'4", 380 pounds, he definitely fits the bill of plug for the run. Smart guy, good with his hands in traffic, good bull rush move up the middle. Not the fastest guy, which you would kind of anticipate with his size, but he did have the highest combine as far as bench press, benching 46 times at 225. So definitely a guy that will definitely cause some havoc in the NFC South with his large frame. I think there were better possibilities there with that pick, but that's not a bad pick for the Falcons to get themselves a run-plugging defender in the middle to kind of help with. I know they lost a lot of defensive tackles, and I know they had some defensive tackle injuries last year. They lost but re-signed Grady Jarrett, and immediately the Colts pick up Julian Lawson, who is one of the better guys that I had marked on the board. You can tell us about him since you picked him.
Yeah, he's got 91 strength, normal dev. We're not used to that in Indy. We usually get hidden dev players, but rest of it looks solid. He's got like I said, he's got 91 strength. He was rated a 1 to 2 round. He actually is fit into the round 1 if you're talking Madden wise, but power moves are A, play recognition's A. So he's gonna sit for he'll be a depth player for us for sure.
tight end. Juan Davison, the top tight end on the board, goes to the Commanders at pick 22. Waffles is not on, so I skipped his pick, and that's who he had to guess on his draft board. I think there are better tight ends available, but with Waffles, who am I to question? He's probably the youngest guy by a country mile to his wide receiver retirement home that he has. So maybe he's another fast guy that can help out with those older guys. He only ran a 4.76 at the combine, though, but he does have good catch and traffic ratings. So a guy that's going to basically be that dirty in the middle player whenever they actually put a tight end on the field, which with all their wide receivers, they're probably going to have a lot of wide receivers on the field at one time.
Yeah, it sounds like they are. You know, like you said with the hospice palace that they built in the off season. Wanted to bring on. Here, let's take a look at who's made some picks here. Crazy Fast is with us. Let's talk Moorhead. Coach Crazy Fast, if you would walk us through your pick, and he's hidden Dev I see here, and looks like a solid pick for you. Talk to me about your pick and your latest addition to your team.
Yeah, we had Dean Farr and Moorhead pretty much neck and neck in this draft, and Dean Farr went 2 picks beforehand, so we didn't have to make a hard decision. It ended up being the right fit for us, I think. We've been kind of on our heels looking for the right guy to pair with Pat Surtain for the last couple of years. Our one side of our field gets taken advantage of every single game, and so hoping this guy's able to come in and shore up that spot for us.
Absolutely. Well, not bad. He's above. He's 6 foot even. Just in Indy, that's kind of a basis how we have our cornerbacks. All of them except for Kenny Moore, who's no longer with the team, are above 6 foot. Like to have that length as they're running down the field. Excited for you to pair him with Pat Surtain and shore up that other side of your defense. So best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, let's bring on the Falcons. Just pick. Let's talk to Stud for a minute and see what he came up with.
Yeah, DT's kind of went off the board a little faster than I expect. I guess I shouldn't have expected that. So he was my 4th DT that I had on my board. So that's who I went with. I like the size and strength and 88 acceleration. So he's a weird guy.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going to happen with him coming off the line right next to Grady Jarrett. So we'll see.
Yeah, congratulations on getting Grady back, and you're running a 4-3 there in Atlanta, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
This guy's more of a 3-4 guy, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, congratulations on that, and thanks for dropping in with us.
Yeah,
Jaguars. I don't care how much he weighs.
Yeah, Jaguars took the guy I wanted.
Oh, well, we'll cuss him out later on group chat.
We know that happens every time with him. When he was picking before me, I was like, oh man.
When Steve Hoffman comes off the board for the Chargers there, then George Edwards just came off the board for the Bengals. Talked a little bit with our boy Rusta, and he was going best player available. We had talked about some linebackers. We talked about he wanted the safety that you took, but George Edwards comes off the board here. I was going to take him, and then ended up going with my guy. Talk to us a little bit about George Edwards.
George Edwards is a guy I was really hoping would fall to round 2 for me. I was kind of sitting on that one. I was like, man, if he falls to me in round 2, early round 2, I'm going to sprint up to the board and go take him. But unfortunately, fortunately for the Bengals, they get a good one in George Edwards, a guy who graded out favorably at the combine, ran a 4.7 8.40 at 302 pounds. So definitely can haul some boutte down the sideline. Benched 32 times at the combine, can run for days, great power moves, smart, heady player on the field, and loves to lay the wood on folks whenever he gets a hold of them. So definitely with George Edwards, I know they lost Sam Hubbard in the offseason, but they won't miss him with George Edwards there in the middle. I don't think they miss a beat, honestly, with George Edwards. In fact, they may even improve over Sam Hubbard.
He's a depth. He's going to be a depth piece for him because they did pick up Vita Vea, and then they also have Milstead, I think. So, couple of solid pieces in front of him. But if they run a rotation out of that, I could definitely see him getting some good playing time this year.
Oh, definitely. I think he should definitely challenge for playing time right away because with that skill set, I think if he's not in a starting position right now, he should be very close to it very soon. So,
going to bring on Coach Juicebox next. He drafted Joseph Lawrence, hidden dev, there out of Miami. I want to talk to you a little bit about him, Coach Juicebox, and if you wouldn't mind obliging us with why you picked him and how happy you are or not happy you are.
Yeah, well, no, thanks for having us on. Tampa Bay is extremely excited for adding another linebacker to our group. You know, last year, first-round pick, Rodney Williams panned out for us very well. And then adding in Zaven Collins during the offseason and free agency. So we were looking for another guy to go along with Devin Bush to shore up our 4 linebacker crew. And Lawrence just fit that bill. More and more I was looking at whether or not D tackle or linebacker, and the more and more I kept coming back to linebacker. So it's going to fill a need for us. It's going to help shore up us against the run, and hopefully our defense can play a little bit better this year.
All right. Thanks for that insight, buddy. I appreciate you, and thanks for coming on the show. What just happened? Alec Metcalf just got taken.
Yep.
Clyde,
the Giant.
Clyde loves Daniel Jones. So what is going on in New York?
That's a good question, but Alec Metcalf is not Daniel Jones. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a statue in the pocket, but he's a guy that can make some throws. He's definitely got good touch on the short and the deep. The middle part of the field, the intermediate part of the field, is where he encounters some issues. But I will tell you that's an interesting pick in my opinion from the Giants. And immediately James Reveron comes off the board, and then Rob Anthony quickly thereafter, safety, goes to the Bills at pick 29.
Yeah, I'll tell you
they
what.
Also at pick 30.
We were looking at when I say we, I mean Rusta and I were looking at this Bills team because we thought that he might try to take the safety earlier in the round, but here it comes here, and this is some much needed help for the Bills because their safeties both respectively are 69 and 71 overalls. So
this guy Rob Anthony might earn a starting spot by default. He's got solid zone coverage skills, smart guy in the back end, average in man coverage, good on pursuit, average athlete though, which kind of would worry me a little bit. He only ran a 4.5 340, but a guy that can definitely play for you in that spot. He's probably going to get some starting time very quickly, and these picks are flying off the board.
Yeah, he turns around, takes JoJo Fenderson, and then we got the Miami Dolphins picking Britton Malone. We got Rusta in the booth with us. Rusta, talk us through George Edwards, buddy. And looks like you got a heck of a player with a hidden dev there.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, so I really wanted that safety that went to the Rams, but I figured, the 3 biggest spots for me was safety, linebacker, DT, and I've got a couple of strong DTs with Vea and Milstead, but those are my only 2. So needed some depth there at defensive tackle, and George seems to be like a plug-and-play guy, so when we need him, when he needs to come in, we'll put him on.
Where's the bag for the toothpaste?
What?
Where's the bag for
I don't know, baby. I didn't touch it.
Okay.
All right, so in the Panthers continue to strengthen their front by going and grabbing Torrey Newhouse, one of the top-rated guards in this draft by Buckman's Big Board. a guy who is out of Ohio State, was graded as a round 3-4 prospect by the WFL scouts, but sometimes the WFL scouts don't know anything. This is a guy who has a great mean streak, loves to get out on pull plays and make some noise in the run game. Needs some work at the next level on his overall technique, but he's a guy who can learn from Will Hernandez, who is currently there at left guard starting. He's a veteran, can teach him the ropes and let him get on his way. So that's a good pick for the Panthers.
Absolutely. Smash, are you on? I wanted to talk to the champ for a minute, see how he's doing. I'll look to see if your mic unmutes. There he is. What's going on, brother?
Is in the house.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, it worked, man. It worked.
Yeah. I figured you might be, but did you were able to draft? I'm guessing.
Any good center, so I had I can't think of what guard that I had, but then that power right tackle made it more sense. He was stronger, better impact block and run blocking power. So that's what we needed in the middle. I think his awareness was a feat. That was the only bad thing I noticed about it.
You think
I think he ran like a 5.5 and 30 plus 33 on the bench.
Okay.
And,
How'd you make out in the off season? You think you'll be able to repeat?
I didn't need much. I mean, I really didn't. My main thing, I needed I drafted a guy last year, tackle, and I think a couple of guys took about 3 of my players. So I think I gained 8 OR points. I let that right tackle go. I can't think of Jones go. But right now I got a pass blocker over there on the left side.
Okay.
You know what we like to do? We like to run the ball.
Right.
Run the ball.
You and me both, man. All right. Awesome. Well, go ahead.
I just want to say, I feel like, now maybe I get my respect. The guys that get the respect around it are high octane offensive guys. The guys that don't really get, and I just want to say, Seahawks, the Dolphins, and the Vikings. Man, those 3 tough games. I won that Viking game, the divisional round, second place. Seahawks, high octane offense, and of course we know the Dolphins got a high octane offense, and we see where the scores are kept, except for the Vikings game, which was a high scoring game. So I just want to say, just put some respect on my name now. I'm a champ.
Well, we will. You are a champ, and you're at a very prestigious club. Welcome to it, and we appreciate you dropping by and talking shop with us. Best of luck to you this season, buddy, and keep it rolling.
Good luck the rest of the draft, guys. I got my board set up, and hopefully I can get another guy. Like I said, I didn't need much, and when you build a team that's 3 or 4 years, and didn't need much. So we're going to run it back probably more with the same players. I probably just need to add 4 players in this draft and maybe an off season. We're going to be ready to defend the NFC North first going forward.
All right. Sounds good, brother. Appreciate you dropping by. We'll talk to you soon. I just saw Columbus go off the board to the Raiders.
Interesting pick there. They draft quarterback first round and they draft quarterback second round. So I'm guessing he looked at what he had and didn't like what he got, so he just decided to pick again. I don't know how wise of an action that is, but I mean, I'm not the Raiders GM, so I can't speak against that. But I don't know if I'd have went quarterback round 1 and 2. I think you pick your guy and you stick with your guy. I don't think you take quarterback, especially that soon after you've just taken one. So I mean, I think that's a little bit of a head scratcher there.
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
Last time we saw that in real life was the RG3 Kirk Cousins situation.
But the difference with that was it was round 1 and 4. So that's a little bit of a distance.
Yep, it was. It wasn't back-to-back rounds. That is a weird flex, as they like to say.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got himself. If he's got one quarterback that is, actually both of them aren't terribly mobile. The Billy Bradshaw's got 4.69 40 speed, so he's got a little bit of a mobile guy and a little bit of a more polished guy. So maybe he just goes whichever one feels good. and moves forward. Maybe it'll be a quarterback competition. That's interesting, though, to have your number 1 overall pick be competing with somebody you take in round 2. But, I mean, these are the stories.
Ross just finally joined us in the chat. I wanted to get his take on his cornerback and see how that guy turned out. I'll look for him to unmute his mic, and we'll keep rolling here. But Colin Lucas just came off the board for the Packers, left guard out of Vanderbilt. So
he's probably the top-rated guard I had on Buckman's big board. A guy who is definitely a finesse-based blocker, can move and in space well. Really good at getting out in front of traffic. Not the strongest guy, not the fastest guy, but has a quick first step. So he's really good on those pull, trap, win style plays. To get stuff done. And there is, I missed the pick. Darn, the Jets picked somebody. I missed that pick.
Yeah, I missed it as well. Let me see if I can rewind the stream here real quick. It was Ben Beltran.
Okay. Find Ben Beltran.
Yep. And then Dakota Johnson for the 49ers. Coach,
I've got Dakota Johnson. I didn't have Ben Beltran.
Coach Juicebox back on the clock now.
All right.
Dakota Johnson he's a bigger corner, but ran a 4.5. That's why we didn't take him. We like our corners to be sub 4.4. But what do you know about Cold's latest cornerback?
I think you can give some forgiveness to Dakota Johnson. He may not have a high top end speed, but he gets to top speed quickly. He ran one of the quicker 20-yard times in this draft at 4.23. And at 4.54 at 6'2", I'm a little bit more forgiving on, just because as the bigger they get, the more forgiving I am on that 4.4 minimum requirement. A big kid, physical, good in zone coverage, good hands as well, really good press corner. So that might pair up well with their first round pick. And then basically bolstering that defense both in the interior and on the outside to kind of help with overall defense. So I think looks like Tuchel is focusing on defense this offseason, or this draft anyway, and hoping that the offense will be enough to get through and let that defense basically make stops for him.
Right. Coming down to it here for the Buccaneers, they're about to be within 10 seconds. 9.
Dang.
Okay, there we go. Orlando Bernard, right end out of LSU, and Jaguars are back on the board now.
Yep, and I am back on the board. So.
Oh wow. Yep.
Give me a sec to.
Gil Harrell. Yeah, we're gonna switch over and look at. I'm gonna look at my schedule here. So if you see that go on the stream, that's what I'm doing. Give me 1 second here. Just want to kind of look at it. Oh, hey, Winnipeg. We played in the first week of the preseason.
Oh, lovely.
Just kind of going through my schedule here. Okay. I don't want to get too far away from the draft, so.
So there we go. Let's see what he has. Yay, a hidden depth finally. Let's see, that was pick 12.
And now on the clock, it's the Arizona Cardinals.
So I took the top right left tackle on the board, Emmett Lindsey. I didn't really need left tackle, but it's hard to pass up a prospect like that. Good pass blocker on the outside, a little bit slow. Not the strongest guy at the combine, but does have a hidden depth trait. So that is positive for this Rams offensive line. As we continue to get young on the offensive line, we've got a lot of young kids under that rookie contract, and they are all average to above average, which can be a weakness or a strength depending on how you want to look at it. I look at it as a strength because basically if somebody goes down, I've got somebody just as good to take the spot. So bolstering the offensive line, never a bad idea.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Definitely, especially with the way our injuries go. That can strike at any time, and it's good to have that depth. Cardinals taking Terrell Walker, free safety out of Boston College there.
Yeah, the fastest free safety at the combine, as Ben Huffman immediately goes next to the Saints. the fastest safety at the combine, Terrell Walker was. Good hit style safety. He's more of a run support style safety. Has good hands, but he's really good in run defense at 6 foot, 216 pounds. So he's a guy that can really get after and be a good attacker in run defense, but definitely not somebody you want out there on passing downs. He's more of a liability in the passing game. So definitely a guy you may want to consider flexing over to the strong safety spot and let him play that box safety role and kind of keep him out of pass coverage, at least early on in his career. So that might be somebody that's more of a potentially a back-end player at the start, but somebody that can fill in certain spots. He can fill in real well, but right now he does have some holes in his game at the next level.
Ben Huffman coming off the board there for the Saints. It leaves Pinker Floyd back on the clock here. Second round, pick 15. So we're about halfway through the second round. Picks been flying off the board, Win.
Yeah, they've really been making their picks rather quickly. There's not been much dilly-dally or delay in these picks, which is good in a way and bad in a way, because if I'm trying to keep up with everything, that's where it becomes bad. As Javier Wall is only the second middle linebacker to come off the board in round 2, and he's a guy that has good size at 6'2", 247. Smart guy, ran one of the better combine speeds, was just under 4.6, which for a linebacker is pretty solid. Middle linebacker is a little bit less quality. A guy that does have some holes in his game, though. But the nice thing about him is he's pretty much average in everything. He is kind of a liability in zone coverage, but he is pretty solid at man coverage. Decent head on his shoulders as far as recognizing plays and coverages and things of that nature. Just kind of a round. Really, the only thing I can say good about him is he's really aware of his surroundings. He's got really, really good awareness. Other than that, he's just kind of middle of the ground on everything else. So a guy that may be somebody you groom or somebody you try and start right away, depending on how he ultimately grades out. But a little bit more holes than I would like to see in round 2. I think there were some better guys there that could have been taken. So
Broncos on the clock now. Just a little bit under a minute to go.
And he is here, and Commanders are not. Patrick Marshall, right end, Mississippi State.
The Commanders are on the clock.
What is that pick? That is pick 16. All right, so Patrick Marshall, as I'll buy a second here because I'm going to be skipping the Commanders because they're not here. 6'6", 273, solid size guy. Good bull rush maneuver, fast for his size. He ran a 4.64 at 273 pounds. That's actually pretty stout. So a guy that has the ability to get after the passer off the edge. So just essentially another edge rusher to throw into the mix there in Denver. But a good one, I think. I think it's a really solid pick I think it's a good value pick there in round 2.
Terrell Walker at an 89 speed.
Okay.
So, but hidden dev, great 86 acceleration, 85 agility, 85 change of direction. So can play pretty much anywhere in that secondary.
Yeah.
And then
that's good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's good to hear.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson also hidden dev, 89 speed, 86 change of direction, 87 agility. So both of your NFC West foes there getting a little bit stronger on defense.
Not good. I don't need them to get better. I need them to get worse.
Rodney Battles just came off the board for Washington, followed by Raheem Stockton. I did notice that the Bills picked up. They let James Cook go in free agency, and they picked up that running back, the top running back that you had on the board. But Raheem Stockton comes off the board here with the Eagles.
Yeah, Raheem Stockton's more of a bruiser back. I know they list him as an elusive back, but he's got the size and speed to be like a bowling ball. 5'11", 215 pounds. Ran a 4.5 40, which for an elusive guy, you'd like him to be a little faster, but with that stocky frame, it makes a lot of sense. Good eyes in the backfield, good vision. Can be a kick returner for you. Good solid route runner as well. As Morris Edison comes off the board to the Bucks. Where is Morris? Oh, there he is. I was like, where is Morris Edison? There he is. Morris Edison, big physical wide receiver. So basically, think size and speed, or size, I should say, of Mike Evans. So maybe a Mike Evans replacement potentially. A guy who makes spectacular catches look routine, solid hands across the board. Maybe a little concerned with his catch overall. Didn't show the most consistent hands at USF. So maybe that's something they can work on at the next level with him in Tampa. But a big-bodied kid is never a bad thing to have, especially when you're in the goal line red zone situation.
All right, Mitch Bender coming off the board for the Falcons, which leads me to my pick.
All righty. So as you make your pick, I'll say that Mitch Bender was probably one of the better outside linebackers available. They had him as round 3, 4 grade, but sometimes those WFL scouts don't know anything. A guy who's really good in pass defense, good solid tackler, ran a solid combine at 4.64, which for a guy at the linebacker position is really good. Although he's a little bit small at 6'1", 229 pounds. So not the best in run defense. Not going to be the best pass rusher either, so don't want to send him on pass rushing. But if he's going to play a coverage-based system like what Atlanta's going to look to do in a 4-man front, you want guys that can play behind and play zone coverage well, and that is definitely Bender's game to a T. So that's a real good pickup for Atlanta as they bolster that defense with their first 2 selections. They go defensive line, they go defensive tackle, with a really good acceleration player at 380 pounds with 88 acceleration is ridiculous. And a good bull rush move. If he's got high motor capabilities, he could be a nice 1-2 punch in the middle. As you draft a guy I was going to take next. Dang it. The top linebacker I had on the board at middle linebacker, and you took him.
Yeah, David Anderson, normal dev. I was talking to Rusta about him. He's got 89 speed, 86 agility, 89 acceleration, 80 jumping, 79 change of direction, and 77 strength. So a well-rounded player. He's going to sit behind Dennis Simmons for us and work his way in there should tragedy strike.
I don't need this position, but I'm going to take it because he's the best guy on the board at a position that I don't have a lot of already, so I'm taking it. Okay, he's normal dev, 81 speed, 86 strength, 87 acceleration. Okay, he's just an average player, which is not terrible.
On the clock now, it's the
Wish I'd have gotten a hidden dev, but I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is.
You and I are both missing out on those tonight. Guys, I will say the show is going to run through the end of the second round, and then you guys will be on your own for rounds 3 through 7. But we'll continue on rocking here as we push through it. We're in round 2, pick 24. Jabari Woodard, who I was looking at taking. If he ends up being hidden, I'm gonna punch myself in the face.
I'm gonna be mad too.
Yeah, because I went back and forth between him and the guy that I took, and we'll see what happens. Falcons circling back and got a hidden dev on Mitch Bender, 82 speed, 89 acceleration, 86 agility. Stud, if you're on, you can walk us through your pick, buddy.
Yeah, right outside linebacker. I actually don't even have one on the roster until now. We have Mitch, so that's kind of where I was going. I wouldn't say it was a need, but I guess or I wouldn't say it wasn't the best player available for me, but big need at outside linebacker. So we'll see how Mitch does. He's got, once again, lots of acceleration, which is what we like here in Atlanta on our defense.
Absolutely. Thanks for walking us through that. Bengals are on the clock now.
First step is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Bengals are on the clock now.
Yeah, Rusta's pick. So we are motoring, honestly.
Yeah, this might be the shortest show we've had.
Yeah, we usually a 2-round draft show is usually at least an hour 15. We're coming in at the 50-minute mark, and we're only 8 picks away from the end. So everybody's, and kudos, by the way. I do appreciate that because I know this is not the best night to
Russell's got
have
5
a draft.
seconds.
This is the way the off-season schedule fell. So Sunday night going into a Monday morning is probably not the greatest idea, but it is what it is.
Rusta, you had me scared there, buddy. What'd you pick?
The Lions are on the clock.
Hey, I got LaMichael Bernard out of. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't even know what school he's from now. LSU. So we got to go. We got to go that route. I wanted to get that middle linebacker you took, Juke, but LaMichael had some pretty impressive stats, so we went that route.
Is he hitting Dev?
Normal.
Okay. No worries. For a team like yours, he's going to fit right in and be some good depth for you. And Texans just posted Javier Jenkins, their newest running back, after they let Damian Pierce walk in free agency. Just got an elusive back with a 93 speed, 92 acceleration. So picking up right where they left off, hidden dev for him. That's never good to hear. I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
That stinks because that was the guy I was hoping would fall to me in the third round, but stupid big board.
Let's see.
I should make this a pay service.
You should. You should start. Yeah, start. I know you would probably put the money right back in the league, but yeah, you definitely should because this is it's a great tool, and we do appreciate all your hard work for it. I know the guys get amped up to look at it every season, and yeah, it's quite the tool, my friend.
Well, I'm looking at it. I've got it live because I'm obviously trying to update as we go. And right now we're sitting on 10 people that are currently looking at the draft board as I use it. So, and I'm right now, I believe I'm 100% as far as picks go. I don't think I've missed one yet, with a little help earlier from the rewind option, going back to see what I missed. But so far I hadn't missed anything. And there's Parker Gates with the second to last pick going in round 2. And that leaves the champ, who is currently at work. So that means I get to skip ahead a pick.
No.
We get to see.
Oh,
was he here?
He is. Yep.
No, he's not here.
Yes, he is.
He's at work.
But
He's in chat, though.
I think he's drafting from work, though.
No, I see red on his dot.
Who did I get?
You got Alex Younger, right end out of USF.
I think he was pretty good. Commit. I think he was pretty decent.
Okay.
A little bit slow. He's more of a 3-4 style defensive end at 316 pounds. But I mean, he's all across the board. He doesn't have anything lower than a C except for stamina.
Yeah, that's a rush guy. Because I had my top guy hurt about 3 games, and I had to scramble to find somebody. Man, I'm surprised that he lasted that long. But hey, kudos. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that rounds out the show. When you got anything to say to anybody before we leave?
I will say tune in for the corner tomorrow where we'll go over draft stuff. Obviously, we'll kind of take some highlights of the draft, talk a little preseason action maybe. But the main thing is we'll talk about the fact that this next season coming up will be the last season of our cycle. We'll talk about what that means and what we're going to be doing going forward. I'm also going to say that this draft, in case you aren't aware, this will be a little teaser for the rest of it. This is going to be a draft that's going to be eligible for carryover. So I have the draft class. I pulled it about 30 minutes before the draft. I didn't even have time to look at it, but I pulled it as an offline file. And so I have it on file. So this draft class, anybody that's picked in this draft, as well as the draft we do at the end of the cycle, will be eligible for carryover.
Okay, well that's big news. That's big news. That's exciting. Yeah, we did the same thing last file, and the corner I drafted, Evan Carroll, ended up being a generational talent. So you guys can find some good things to take into Madden 25 with us, and we're excited with that. With that being said, I'm gonna shut the show down here, and we'll continue on with the draft rounds 3 through 7. So if you guys stick around, follow the draft along on your own systems, and we'll talk soon. For one of us, I'm Juke, and we appreciate you.